We're on episode 6 of the Trash Panda. We're ready to install the JAMA board, the JAMA harness, wire up a power supply, and fire this bad boy up. Alright, here's our JAMA harness. It's all wired, ready to go, broken down into sections. We got our speaker wire harness. We won't be needing that because we're going to be pulling audio off the board RCAs direct into the amp. This is the power section for 5 volt, 12 volt grounds. We will be using that. This portion is the kick harness. This will plug in to the CPS2 board right there for your kick functionality. And then your main bundle in the middle is your video signal and coin door. We won't need to use any of that because we're pulling our video signal off the JAMA edge with this SCART adapter that pulls it via SCART to HDMI direct to the monitor. And then all of our controls are wired to the control panel. Just plug them in. So with that said, mount the CPS2 board to the particle board and the slider in the cabinet. Alright, I had to do a quick remount and because I had the board vertical, not horizontal, so when I went to put it in the cabinet, it was orientated north to south where I wanted it east to west, and I should have noticed that, but I didn't the first time. So with that, we had more space for the extra mounting of that front PCB for the front feet there. And so I broke out the trusty drywall screws and went to town. And now it's more secure, little more secure, but mounted the direction I wanted. We're at the power system. We have our power cord coming in. We got our neutral, our ground, and our hot. Our line filter, our fuse block, our AC block, our switch and power supply, our 5 volt block and 12 volt block, and 2 power switches. What I'm missing is a double pull single throw relay to go in here to handle the 2 power switches for the cabinet. Because one power switch here is going to turn the power on and off to the power system for the switcher. The second switch is going to fire up the 5 volt and 12 volt lines to the JAMA harness. That way the switching power supply can manage all the functions of the cabinet regardless of which system I have on, whether it's a JAMA board playing or the Mr. Cade or a PC. The switcher will work for all devices in the cabinet, running the general basics, your marquee light, your any power functions that the cabinet might require. And then we got, for temporarily, we got our basic sound amp in place. That'll connect up to 5 volt line, and it has your basic left and right channels. This will get upgraded in the future, but for now, it's going to do. I am missing that DPST relay to do the switching. I'm hoping that comes in before, so I can finish this video out and get the cabinet fired up, but we'll see. With that said, it's on to the wiring. Let's take our 3 connectors from the line filter. And crimp them to our power cord. We got our nice color-coded crimper there. So we go to the blue section. That tells us it's for, I believe it's 16 to 18 gauge wire. Get the cheaters on. And see what we get. Terrible crimp. That's why I don't like these insulated, pre-insulated spade connectors. Let me dissect this and I'll be right back. As you can see, we got a good crimp and our wire is crushed. It was inserted correctly into the spade connector. But with the insulation of this plastic, it didn't allow us to get a solid, beefy, bite down crimp. So with that, I'm going to remove the insulation. I could possibly crimp in the smaller hole, and that'll give us a stronger bite on the crimp, but prefer to have a better visual on the crimp. So we'll strip some insulation off these and see what we get. All right, number 2, get a good crimp. Not good because it's just crimping onto the wire and not onto the jacket. But we have a solution. Fire up the soldering iron. What I'm trying to do is flood solder down the center of that connection to the wires to solder the wire to the connector. We can always come back with our solder sucker and pull the excess solder off the housing that's going to get in the way of the shrink wrap tubing. All the extra solder wasted, but getting a good connection is what all that matters here. And see, now our wire is solid, crimped and soldered, so it's not going to pull off. Trim this excess solder off, like so. The problem here is the wire heat up our shrink wrap tubing, and now we're able to stretch it over. So we're going to use a bigger piece of shrink wrap and wrap it up. That was all connector. And it's basically doesn't repeat for the next two. Yep, nice solid. big mess. Okay, we got our neutral, our ground, and our hot crimped and soldered with connectors ready to go on our line filter here. So with that, let's see. Next is the fuse. Going to make a jumper or fuse to the line filter. And we're going to rinse and repeat on all these connectors. It's a debacle. Alright, making the jumper for the hot from the fuse to the line filter. Still time. Wait. Blue. Is that gonna wait? Actually, we want to stick a little bit. Alright, we got the basic power system wired up. I'm about to test the AC, the 12 volt, the -5 and the +5, and see if we get smoke or see if we got good. Let's check it out. Power strip on. Nothing yet. Should hit this button. It's dimly lit. (118.8) says AC voltage. Power LED is lit on the power supply. Switch this to DC. Ground. +5 is 5.1 or 12 is 11.98, and our -5 is -4.6. So let me get a screwdriver and adjust the light, or adjust the power supply. Shut that off real quick. Voltage drains down correctly. Well, I didn't have the lead on, so X that. Let's see what this. Find my small screwdriver. Be right back.
It's a way to spray paint using an air compressor, obviously cars, cabinets, furniture.
12 even. We got 4.6 on the -5, 5.1 on the 5. So it's pretty good. The -5 we aren't really going to use. It's just wired in to have it here. Let's see. Our power switch is lit, but it's very dim. I don't know if you can see that on camera. I have it hooked to the LEDs to 12, to +12. But I'm not impressed. I'm wondering if I don't know. It says Maybe I'll try it on the +5. It is only LED. It should be cooking. So let me try and switch that wire, and I'll be right back. See what we get. Still dim as hell. Very bummed on how the LED is not backlit very well. Wonder if there's anything I could do to boost the voltage on that. The plug or the switch is rated for AC, so maybe, I don't know, LED powered by AC? I don't know. I'm gonna have to research that some more. Let's see. 12 volts, perfect. +5 is 5.145. -5 is 4.6. This will change once there's a load on the system. So we'll probably have to adjust it again. Let's get a closer up look of the work. Let's see. So let's see. We got our AC in on the left. Then your field grounds. Your ground out of the chassis is the third green to the right. Your red is the +5. Yellow is +12, of course. And the gray wire is your -5. And here's the distribution blocks with the grounds from the left. Obviously red is +5, yellow is +12, and the gray is -5. AC wiring is all done there for the block. Got a 4-amp slow blow fuse, filter, and power cable in. So we're almost on the home stretch. Like I said, I would be able to throw this in the cabinet and wire in the JAMA harness if I had that relay, but I'm just gonna have to wait for it because why do it twice, you know? And it's only another couple days before it comes in. So I'll go more in detail on a future video of AC wiring and wiring up a power system for general arcade cabinet. My workbench here is the next project. It's the cocktail with the real CRT monitor that's hidden down there. And yeah, it'll be real interesting. And I'll go over wiring up this power brick for that system because the battery died mid-filming this afternoon on this. And I just continued to wire and finished it up while the battery charged. I turned all the lights off to see the brightness of this LED on the power button. Let's see what we get. It looks better on camera than it does in real life, but I think that's still going to be bright enough for the cabinet. So yeah, it does look really good on camera. It's not even close to that in real life, but I guess you get what you pay for. So with that said, that's on 12 volts. I moved it back to the 12 volt line. It's worse in the LED on the power switch is nice and bright. I moved the lines over to 120 volt AC and it's plenty bright. The switch specs didn't specify. I just assumed it was 12 volt because the wiring is red and black. Yeah, power switch is plenty bright once it's hooked to AC. I assumed it being LED, it would run off 5 volt or 12 volt, but There's no specs that came with the switches, so it was a trial and error kind of deal. You can see the red LED on the power supply versus the brightness of the switch. It's almost putting off like a flashlight effect. So it's plenty bright now.